Hi, welcome to the Self Upgrade. Today's content will be the summary of an interview between the host Mel Robins and guest Dr. Kelner with the headline If You Feel Lost, Stuck, or Behind in Life, listen to this. Mel Robbins is the author of number one New York Times and Sunday Times bestseller, The Let Them Theory, as well as the host of one of the most popular YouTube podcasts, the Mel Robins Podcast. So, without further ado, let's dive right into the summary content. If you have felt tired, foggy, or disconnected lately, not from one specific problem, but just in general, you're not broken and you're not alone. The guest today, Dr. Kimna, is a leading researcher on meaning and purpose. He states this feeling is called purposelessness. More importantly, it has a fix that doesn't cost money, doesn't require life overhaul, and takes as little as 60 seconds a day. Here are the core ideas everyone can use, no matter your age, your job, or where you're starting from. Idea number one: purpose isn't something you find, it's something you access. Most people think of purpose as an object out in the world, a calling you're supposed to discover, usually tied to your career. That's the wrong model. Purpose is a state of mind. When you feel purposeful, your focus is sharp and you're moving forward. When you feel purposeless, your mind feels vague and unfocused, and your energy drops. The difference isn't about what job you have, it's about whether what you're doing feels connected to something bigger than itself. This matters because it means purpose isn't reserved for people with dream jobs or big callings. A nurse, a carpenter, a teacher, someone cleaning hospital rooms, all of them can feel deep purpose the moment they recognize how their work connects to something larger than themselves. This matters to everyone, since you don't need to change your circumstances to feel more purposeful. You just need to change how you're related to the moment you're already in. Idea number two: feeling exhausted isn't a character flaw, it's biology. When you're stressed, your brain reacts as if you're in danger, even when you're not. Stress hormones flood your system, and your body acts as if it's being chased, which is exhausting, regardless of how much you actually have going for you in life. The good news is, with small positive emotions, such as gratitude, kindness, appreciating something beautiful, activates a part of your nervous system that calms your body down, boosts your immune function, and creates real physical relief from that exhaustion. This matters to everyone, since it isn't about thinking positive, but a physical off switch for stress that's available to anyone, regardless of circumstances, and it costs nothing. Idea number three: two questions reveal what you're actually built for. To figure out what genuinely matters to you, not what you think should matter, but what actually does, ask yourself: 1. What inspired me as a child? 2. Who has inspired me most in my life? These questions bypass the pressure of what should my career be and go straight to what makes you feel like yourself. Research points to common threads people are drawn to, such as learning, courage, kindness, fairness, connection to something bigger than themselves, or creative expression. None of these require a specific job. They're about what you choose to spend your time on, if nothing else got in the way. This matters to everyone also, since it works whether you're 16 or 76, employed or between jobs, certain about your path or completely lost. The question don't change based on your situation. Idea number four: a 60-second habit with measurable impact. The single most repeatable science backed tool for this research, 1 minute a day of all, which is pausing to take in something vast or beautiful that you don't fully understand. For example, a sunset, a piece of music, an act of unexpected kindness. Study across very different groups, either high schoolers in under resourced schools, combat veterans, exhausted healthcare workers. This 1 minute habit was linked to less depression, less anxiety, more energy, stronger immune function, and a greater sense of connection to others. The method is simple: pause, put your phone away, and look. First at the small details, then at the bigger picture. Notice where your mind goes, and that's it. This matters to everyone, since this isn't a wellness trend that requires time, money, or a scenic vacation. It can work in a hospital hallway, an airport, or a grocery store or elsewhere. Anywhere you're willing to actually stop and look. Idea 5. The real instruction is small, not drastic. Nowhere in this research is the advice quit your job or start a 5 year plan. The actual instruction is much smaller. Notice what once made you came alive and insert a small piece of it into your life this week. Volunteer for an hour. Read something that matters to you. Reach out to someone who inspired you. Of course, this matters to everyone. Although big change feels impossible to most people, which is exactly why most people never start. However, a small, doable action doesn't have that problem, and is often enough to shift the feeling of an entire day. None of this requires you to be a certain kind of person, have a certain kind of job, or be at a certain stage of life. It requires two questions, 1 minute a day, and the willingness to actually notice what's already around you. The version of you to have more purpose and more energy isn't somewhere else waiting to be found. It's available right now, just in the next 60 seconds, if you take them. That's your upgrade for today. Small changes repeated daily. That's how the better version of you actually gets built. Not overnight, not all at once. One shift at a time. If this helped, you know what to do. Hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next upgrade. Until then, keep leveling up.